Forbes just released its 2025 rankings of the most powerful women in sports. And sitting confidently at number 4, Caitlyn Clark. Even more stunning, she's the highest-ranked athlete on the list. This isn't just another superstar making noise. This is the woman who turned an $8.1 million rookie season into a complete revolution of financial power in women's sports. But here's where it gets explosive. A'ja Wilson, ranked down at number 15, has reportedly reacted in a way that's nothing short of unhinged. What started as quiet tension after Clark's Nike deal has now escalated into a full-blown jealousy narrative that the public is beginning to notice. The numbers are undeniable, and so are Wilson's public responses. Before we break it all down, let me ask you this. Backhanded explaining right, why do you think A'ja Wilson is struggling with Caitlyn Clark's rise? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk money. The average WNBA rookie earns around $60,000 in their first year. Caitlyn Clark? She earned $8.1 million. No typo. No exaggeration. That single figure shattered everything seasoned players thought they knew about earning potential in women's basketball. Her league salary was basically pocket change. The real money came from outside the court. The rookie minimum sits at roughly $64,000, and Clark's base contract wasn't much higher. But while most first-year players were budgeting groceries and splitting rent, Clark was standing in corporate boardrooms negotiating deals worth more than entire franchise valuations. The Nike contract was the spark. 8 years, $28 million. Guaranteed. That one deal placed Clark in territory no WNBA player, rookie or veteran, had ever touched. Most established stars had never seen even a fraction of that. Clark secured generational wealth before her first professional game. Then came Gatorade, a partnership reserved only for names like LeBron James and Serena Williams. No other WNBA athlete had reached that level of prestige. Gatorade doesn't choose players, they invest in cultural drivers. Next, Wilson's Sporting Goods. Not just an endorsement, she became the face of basketball equipment nationwide. Their last signature-level partnership this big? Michael Jordan. Every time a customer sees Clark on a display inside a sporting goods store, that's money flowing directly into her empire. Then the speaking engagements. Clark began commanding appearance fees beyond what many WNBA players make in an entire season. Companies weren't paying for her basketball knowledge. They were paying for her ability to attract audiences and drive economic momentum. The television numbers told the real story. Matchups featuring Clark experienced viewership spikes of over 400% compared to standard WNBA broadcasts. Networks began fighting for broadcasting rights. Advertisers lined up whenever she appeared on screen. Attendance followed. Cities hosting her games saw unprecedented ticket sales. Merchandise numbers exploded. Local businesses reported increased sales on game days. Clark wasn't just performing, she was generating economic activity across entire cities. Her social media reach only amplified it. Millions engaged with every post, generating marketing value traditional advertising couldn't touch. Brands realized she could pull in audiences that previously didn't care about women's basketball. Then came the defining moment. According to Forbes, Clark's $8.1 million earnings towered over second-place Sabrina Ionescu's $6.3 million. That gap proved one thing: brands believe Caitlyn Clark is worth paying extra for. Corporate America finally acknowledged what fans already knew. Clark has something unique that cannot be coached, duplicated, or manufactured. Her ability to bring new audiences while still maintaining credibility made her not just a player, but a market force. She didn't just break financial records. She completely redefined what's commercially possible for women's basketball. And that success has left some veterans increasingly uncomfortable. That's where A'ja Wilson comes in. Her frustration didn't appear overnight. This has been building for months, visible through carefully timed interviews and social media signals. It began with the Nike deal. While Clark celebrated, Wilson posted about rookies receiving treatment veterans had to earn. She never said Clark's name, but everyone knew. She then began reposting old photos with Nike executives, subtly reminding followers of her own relationships. What started off discreet grew louder. Soon, her feed became filled with posts about veteran achievements, earning your place, and the importance of patience, each one conveniently timed after major Clark headlines. Wilson's Instagram stories turned into a running response to media praise toward Clark. The now infamous "I Have a Shoe Too" campaign was her most obvious attempt to reclaim the spotlight, posting her Nike shoe from every angle, tagging the brand, and emphasizing loyalty. When Time magazine named Clark Athlete of the Year, Wilson's congratulations lasted one short sentence: cold, clipped, and unusually brief. Compare that to the multi-paragraph celebrations she writes for others. Wilson is known for supporting fellow athletes. The lack of enthusiasm was impossible to ignore. The timing couldn't have been worse. Reports showed Wilson's signature shoe wasn't selling, while any product tied to Clark was moving immediately. Veterans saw stagnant numbers. Clark saw record-breaking sellouts. Wilson then turned to posting about speaking fees, something she had never publicly highlighted before. Suddenly, backstage photos, booking mentions, and brand alignments started appearing more frequently. It felt forced, and the narrative was clear. Next, she began sharing veteran scoring stats, historical viewership numbers, and the phrase "real impact" paired with sustained excellence. Thinly veiled critiques of Clark's hype. As the season went on, her comments became sharper. Subtle digs at media-driven fame. Mentions of proving it over time. None of these were general reflections. They were pointed, and everyone knew at whom they were directed. The pattern reveals what's really behind Wilson's issue with Clark's rise. This isn't about scoring averages or team success. Wilson's jealousy stems from watching someone else become the face of women's basketball almost overnight. She spent years building her image and securing her role as a league cornerstone, only to see Clark surpass her impact within months. Wilson's behavior reflects a veteran who struggles to share the spotlight with someone more talented and commercially magnetic. Her passive-aggressive online posts, half-hearted public acknowledgments, and repeated jabs at hype expose a player rattled by the shifting power dynamic in her own sport. The Forbes announcement didn't just rank influence. It tore away the curtain on Wilson's frustration after months of subtle online digs and narrative control attempts. Forbes doesn't hand out titles casually when ranking the most powerful women in sports. Their system relies on cold, verifiable numbers. Metrics like earnings, digital influence, commercial leverage, and cultural reach across 5 sports sectors. Clark dominated every relevant category, leaving others scrambling to justify their relevance. The formula emphasizes financial authority and market impact, and no one came close. Forbes pulled corporate valuations, television rights projections, sponsorship data, and public engagement analytics. When all the numbers were laid out, Clark's dominance was indisputable. She landed at number 4 overall, making her the highest-ranked athlete on the list. She outperformed tennis icons who've built global reputations for years. She edged past Olympic champions with established international prestige. Clark achieved in a single professional year what most athletes struggle to accomplish across an entire career. Her digital footprint alone left industry veterans stunned. Marketing executives noticed her engagement rates surpassing athletes with significantly larger followings. Follower counts tell one story, but engagement proves true influence. Every Clark post sparked interactions that directly converted into measurable marketing value. No women's basketball player has ever impacted brand traction on this scale. But the cultural influence data revealed something far deeper. Clark brought new audiences into the WNBA. Families who never watched women's basketball became weekly viewers. Young girls joined youth leagues hoping to become the next Caitlyn. Corporate investors who'd ignored the WNBA finally saw high-profit potential. Forbes even noted her ability to drive economic traffic outside her personal earnings. Indiana Fever game nights caused spikes in local business revenue, travel bookings, and arena turnout. Sponsorship bidding wars broke out between media networks. Clark didn't just generate revenue, she activated entire markets. Her crossover into golf was the final confirmation that her influence transcends basketball. Participation in Pro-Am tournaments captured mainstream sports coverage. Networks amplified her appearances outside basketball, showcasing versatility that Wilson has tried and failed to achieve despite years of brand expansion efforts. What truly separated Clark was the strategic diversity of her endorsement portfolio. Companies didn't approach her as a standard sport representative, but as a cultural mover. Nike, Gatorade, and Wilson Sporting Goods didn't just sign an athlete. They invested in a vision capable of reaching audiences beyond sports. Those are partnership dynamics usually reserved for international megastars. Clark's estimated $8.1 million yearly income didn't just reflect personal success. It signaled a total shift in how top-tier female athletes could be positioned commercially. Forbes called her earnings the clearest example of what happens when elite performance aligns with timing and global market demand. Her placement validated what fans, analysts, and advertisers already knew. Within just 1 year of going pro, Caitlyn Clark became the most powerful force in women's sports. Ranking above national names who've spent their whole lives building careers wasn't luck. It was the result of unprecedented fan connection and market disruption. The Forbes listing followed Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year and the Associated Press's Female Athlete of the Year, extending a pattern of mainstream recognition unseen in WNBA history. Clark isn't just an elite athlete, she's a cultural and business engine. In 2024 alone, she accounted for 26.5% of the WNBA's total economic activity, while securing partnerships that accelerated the league's visibility across social, commercial, and media landscapes. Wilson's emotional response to Forbes crowning Clark as the most powerful female figure in sports revealed everything about her mindset and how deeply threatened she is by the new era Clark represents. Caitlyn Clark's Forbes recognition proves that genuine talent paired with authenticity creates an unstoppable momentum. Wilson's public reactions prove what happens when someone realizes the spotlight is shifting permanently. The numbers clearly show who drives the real economic and cultural movement in women's basketball. The 2026 season is shaping into exactly what Indiana Fever fans dreamed about: a foundation of a dynasty led by an athlete whose influence extends far beyond the hardwood. Clark isn't just impacting the sport, she's reshaping how the world perceives women's athletics. Wilson can keep responding with passive-aggressive posts and publicly minimizing Clark's recognition. But the impact has already been felt. The earning models, market strategies, and cultural influence metrics now revolve around one name: Caitlyn Clark. Why do you think Wilson struggles to accept Clark's rise? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a breakdown like this. Check out the video on screen. We'll catch you in the next one.